I'm going to read a couple short pieces from my novel Spheres of Disturbance. And where I'm going to read takes place later in the book, so let me try to get you up to speed where things are. Sammy is in deep denial about her mom, who is dying of cancer. She has stormed off into the woods after her lover, Avery, confronts her about her denial. In this part, we pick up when Sammy returns to Avery's house, where there is also a large garage sale going on. You'll need to know that Avery has a pet, a pregnant Vietnamese potbelly pig named Charlotta, and also that when Sammy was in the woods, she ran into Darla and Ruth, two teenagers who had dodged out of the garage sale. So the first part is from Sammy's point of view. Sammy. Sammy doesn't wait for Ruth to finish the sentence. But I didn't know your mother was. She hurries from the birch grove to Avery's house, throws her shoulder and hip against the back door until the door flies open. Her anger, which had fueled a churning heat, has been overtaken by the cold seeping through the layers of her clothing. Sammy is shivering, her toes frozen. The door hits the doorstop and Sammy slams it shut, then walks straight to the bathroom. She pees and cries. She rips long banners of toilet paper from the roll, winding it up into a clump and shoves it against her eyes. She could have jumped into the river. She had it in mind. The snow fell on the water. It would have been a quick ride before going under. Walk right in, sit right down, baby, let your mind roll on. But no, it was an entertainment, a flirtation. Her anger bringing on the high drama. See what you made me do? God, I can't take it, she thinks. She rushes out of the bathroom and stops in the hallway. The wall opposite has a large round piece of red poster board, and in the middle there is one word, and. And what? And her mom is dying. Sammy rests her forehead against the wall. She turns around and slides to the floor. Her leg aches from the cold and running through the woods, and isn't it just like her to flail and plunge forward or away from the issue at hand? Why has she banished Avery? This whole year banished her, all for the sake of not discussing Helen. And Helen's dying. Sammy turns her head and looks into the bedroom. There is the bed that Avery sleeps in. There is the bed where they've stayed up entire nights, eager sex, meandering over the beautiful terrain of their skin, their fingers and tongues pleasing every curve and opening. But it is lessened this year, sex, pleasure, eagerness. There is the bed, and how can Sammy indulge herself? She sleeps at home. She visits Avery. She has become a visitor. But Avery doesn't let up. She comes at Sammy from other directions. She pulls her in, keeps her immersed, provoked, treasured. For every step Sammy has backed up, Avery has moved forward. That's the and that Avery is all about. Sammy starts to cry again. She pushes herself up off the floor onto her knees. Her nose drips. Her toes are still cold. She'll have to enter the garage soon, and then what? She'll have to find Avery and tell her, you're right, my mom is dying. And she'll have to go to her mom and allow her to die. No, no, no. She stands up, goes back in the bathroom for more toilet paper, blows her nose. She hears something. It is a small sound, an airy intake of breath. At the bathroom door stands Charlotta, enormous Charlotta, who walks up to Sammy's legs and leans her head against them. Sammy's seen her do this with Avery, but never felt it, the sureness of what it means. Charlotta's conveying love, which only makes Sammy cry more, because it's just like Avery. The smallest touch, the look in her eyes at every turn, through all of Sammy's crap. Avery loves her, and Sammy resists it, as if that will prevent Helen from dying. Charlotta leaves and Sammy hears her hose tapping on the floor and follows her to the kitchen. The oven is on and there is something baking with apples and cloves. Charlotta stands on her bedding by the door and doesn't move. Her eyes are closed, her immense belly at rest. But she is panting. Sammy looks out the window. Darla and Ruth are still out there by the birch trees. They are smoking cigarettes. Snow falling. A picture postcard of adolescence. They think they have discovered something true and real, but it is only breath in and out, in and out. And with it, the world continues, and without it, it doesn't. Sammy gently opens the door. On the back step she shouts, "Party's over, time you head back to the garage." She watches them drag their feet through the snow. Darla waves at her. Ruth refuses to look over, already figuring out how to not let anything get to her. The air is dazzling with the gleams of light in the snow. Sammy is about to follow the girls, step off into the delicious air, but she feels the cold on her head. She remembers she left her hat in the bathroom and rushes into Avery's house to get it. Charlotta. Charlotta blinks, panting. The piglets want out. Charlotta doesn't move. The piglets are gathering on one side, trying to tip her over. Sammy crosses the living room floor, clip-clop of her boots, then she vanishes. Charlotta concentrates on the apples in the oven. What a smell! Outside, twisting branches, trees with hoods of snow, and inside, the piglets are foraging. Who can blame them? But they've sucked her dried, pulled everything she has eaten for the past months from her bloodstream, her hide, her bones, and they want more. Apples in delicious, vigorous baking, soft, a steaming pile where hornets would go berserk. Here come Sammy's boots. They stop and Charlotta smells the dampness, the leather sour but fruity. Shit, they're shit, Sammy says. Charlotta looks up. Sammy wavers and stomps into the kitchen. Cabinets open, close, boxes and bins drop and clang. There is no stopping the piglets. They are running in circles. They are looking for the exit. There they go. The piglets, they have done it. Tip Charlotta over. Sammy returns shaking out a shopping bag. She wears small plastic bags on her hands. She squats behind Charlotta, removing something from the floor, clomps away back into the kitchen, then to the bathroom. Alone with the piglets. They are like a storm. They boil inside Charlotta. She would like to run into her pen with the nest of alfalfa, the corner of fungus. With her eyes closed, Charlotta demands the piglets hush, and they do. They rest and wait. Above her own thick heartbeat, Charlotta can hear the patter of the river. It is so far away, a fraction of the sound she is used to. Rest period is over. The piglets rise up. They are stampeding. Charlotta moans. No more oven-sweet apples. There is a deep smell of rot, jumble of dank leaves, spruce needles, crumbling oak logs, slag of skunk cabbage where the swamp begins its moldering. There's heat, too. In her belly, heat like summer, prickly, unbearable. The piglets charge. Charlotta throws her head side to side. There is no exit unless she says so, but she doesn't know how to say so. The clip-clop of Sammy's boots walking across the tough varnished floorboards, and then the boots go silent on the throw rugs. Another door opens, closes. A gust of cold air fans the heat inside Charlotta. She needs to stand up, but that would be a miracle. The piglets whirlpool inside her and keep her pegged down. For a moment she smells the river, then it changes to flowers. She blinks her tiny eyes. Everything stills. The piglets, the snow, the ticking breath of the clock. The door opens, closes. Above her, Sammy and Avery. Avery has come and she kneels down. Charlotta grunts. The piglets are about to be shown the way out.